Yo, haha, Miltnificent. What is good, YouTube? Your boy Miltnificent coming back with another quick video, man. Today we got the Nike SB Dunk Yuto Horigome, at least the second version in the Matcha series, and I actually wanted to take a look at this shoe because I felt like by design there were some things that I looked at it and looked something basic. But when you think about the process of making matcha tea, it is a Japanese staple in the community, and it's kind of like a vigorous process just to make the perfect tea. So, you know, patience and a step-by-step approach to get things just right. It's kind of the way Yuto Horigome kind of focuses his attention towards the skateboard community. You can see that he is one of the most professional, at least the best professional skateboarding artist that's out there today. So I wanted to take a look at this just because this this was one of the most creative, slick Nike SB Dunks that I've seen in a while in terms of the design and how they kind of executed it. But with that said and done, man, we're going to take a look at this. This is a size 13. This is not the quick strike Nike SB Dunk box. If I'm not mistaken, this is kind of like the regular or kind of like general release Nike SB Dunk. That's why we see the whole purple thing. Although certain websites had me thinking that it was a creamish Nike SB Dunk, kind of like a special. But this is just a general release, at least what I got. So let's take a look at this. And I will say that we will do the on feet with 3 different laces in terms of the colorways. But we'll get into that momentarily. And this is what I wanted to talk about. Let me just take this out real quick because, man, it's the creativity, the design that we're not accustomed to seeing, or we kind of look at a shoe and think that, oh, okay, that looks cool, but you don't really see or understand. You may not understand the process that it takes to create something like this. And of course, it does come with the standard Nike SB sticker. So let me put that down here. Let's get into this review. And man, so it does come in this nice suede, at least texture colorway. I can say right now the suede on the actual toe box is real soft, and then they kind of use like a smooth suede toward the outer shell of the actual shoe. You got that leather Nike swoosh, but on this, I'm gonna say the side panels, they put like it's suede, but it's textured really hard. I'll do like a kind of like a smooth video so you can see it right there on the side. But the 3 laces, basically it's just the whole matcha green. You got the cream and the pink. The pink you don't really see until you actually go on the outsole, which is kind of like a rubber green, but it has like a speckled design towards the bottom. But I want to get towards the actual detail of the shoe because, like I said, the process of making matcha tea, it's not as simple as most people think, right? So it starts with, the first part starts with matcha powder. And when you're looking at the shoe, you're seeing bubbles around it, like little small bubbles. But those small bubbles, when you're kind of whisking the matcha together in this powder series before it gets to its liquid, it's going to start like foaming up when you start adding the liquid portion to it. So this is what I'm talking about. If you're looking at a picture right here and you look how they're whisking it together, when you see these bubbles around here, it's kind of an indication towards that. It's the whole shoe is based off the representation of the process of making matcha tea. When you look at the actual heel counter, you're looking at like a bamboo style. That bamboo style is the bamboo whisk that you would use to whisk at least the matcha tea or the powder all together. So the way I'm looking at this is, if you look at this picture and you look at the bamboo whisk mixing the actual matcha powder and the whole tea, kind of mixing everything together, that's kind of what you see all at one. And I felt that this was kind of slick with the whole design, and I didn't really think much of it until I actually saw this shoe kind of up close. And of course, you also have to have, this is really a subtle detail to the actual shoe. A matcha grinder is on the eyelet of the actual shoe. I think it's on both sides if I'm not mistaken, and indeed it is. So when you're looking at the eyelet, and you're thinking of, let me show you a picture exactly what I'm talking about. But if you're looking at the eyelet by design, it's a matcha grinder. So it's basically just taking that that process, again, that process of taking the whole matcha series, turning it into the whole powder before they actually whisk it and mix it into an actual tea series. Of course, you need boiling hot water. But this is one of those things where I'm like, man, like he really kind of put a lot of thought into this. And the reason why it's matcha, because matcha tea, again, it's a popular, I want to say family-oriented tea process. It has a lot of health benefits. So this is his favorite drink. Yuto Horigome went all out with the whole family crescent. This is his signature logo that's on the actual shoe. If I'm not mistaken, it's also on the back of the tongue, where you can see right here, as well as featured kind of on the actual insole, which you can see right here. But I'll take it out so you can see the whole thing as a collection. But this, man, he really went out on this. And of course, on the tongue, you got the Nike SB Dunk. Yuto Horigome's name is kind of on there. Again, this is the second version that he came out. I wasn't able to get the first version, which I really wish I had. But and seeing this more makes me appreciate it more, just because of this backstory, again, what it represents in terms of the Japanese culture. Matcha tea is really popular also in North America. So you'll see it in most coffee shops and things like that. But the process, like the real Japanese matcha tea, in terms of the process to get it to, you know, from start to finish, is just, it equates to the process in which Yuto, his training, you know, like that whole kind of grinding everything out. You're grinding the matcha. The process to get it to perfection, the process for his perfection in terms of his training and stuff like that, goes deep into the shoe. But comment below, man. Let me know what you think of Yuto Horigome's Nike SB Dunk, the Matcha series. Did you pick this up? Now that I'm seeing it again, it's kind of like, it gives me like a beige, sort of like a greenish colorway, but they called it or labeled it asparagus, if I'm not mistaken. But all in all, I am very happy to have this in the lineup, and I can't wait to put these on. Your boy's going to have the lace swap with the cream, the actual pink, and pretty much just go from there. Just, again, comment below. Let me know what you think about the whole Yuto Horigome Nike SB Dunk Matcha series. I am out. You guys, stay blessed.